Hi everybody, it's Julie the Whippy Chick here, and I have a 3-part tutorial that I want to share with you. So today's tutorial is how to make this really fun bath spa set, which makes a great project for gifts. Gift season is not upon us quite yet. It is only July, and you know, December's the big time, but there's no time like the present to get started so that you can avoid that holiday rush. So I found this Hipster Cotton by Premier at my local Michael's, and I fell in love with it. I really liked it a lot. The colors are amazing, and it's really easy to use, and it's only $8 a skein. Now, you can do this entire project with one skein. All of this came from one skein. Now, if you happen to hear some bird song or some traffic noise in the background, that is because I'm filming outside today. I love to be outside, so that's what I'm doing. So like I said before, this gift has 3 different parts. We've got a loofah. We have got a face mitt, like a face scrubber, but it's also a mitt. You can put it right on your hand. So you put your lotion on, or not your lotion, but your soap on here, and then scrub your face. And we've got this really nice textured washcloth. So the first thing we're going to work on is the loofah. So let's get started. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a skein of Hipster Cotton yarn by Premier. This is 229 yards. Now, like I said before, that one skein is going to give you enough yarn to make all of these 3 projects in the spa set. Now, you don't have to use Hipster Cotton. If there's another kind of cotton yarn that you would rather use, that is absolutely fine. I just really love the colors. So you are also going to need a needle to weave in your ends. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and like I always say, the cuter the scissors, the better they cut. The last thing you're going to need is a crochet hook. I am using a 5mm or size H or size 8 hook. This particular brand of yarn is a lightweight yarn, and it does recommend using a 5mm, so that works out. Okay, without any further ado, we are going to get started on this really fun loofah. It's very easy, very fun, and I find that this takes about 2.5 hours, something like that. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I am going to start with a magic ring, and I'll tell you why. I like to be able to cinch this up nice and tight, and if I started with the chains and made a loop, I would not be able to cinch it as tightly. If you are more comfortable using chains and then looping them around to make a circle to work into, that is absolutely fine, but it might not be as tight in the center. So that's just why I'm doing it this way. So what I'm going to start with, though, is I'm going to do 25 double crochets into this magic ring. So if you do choose to start with chains, you're just going to want to make sure that you've got enough room to put 25 double crochets into it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my 25 double crochets. And I do apologize for the road signs. I am filming outside today, but I will not apologize for the bird song because everybody likes to listen to the birds, including me. And that's where I'm doing my filming today. Okay, so there's 2. Oops, I split my yarn. Goodness gracious, all the little mistakes and things that you don't normally make, you are guaranteed to make when doing a tutorial. Okay, there's 3. There's 4. There's 5. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead to 25, and I'll meet you at the end of 25. When you have 25 double crochets in the ring, I will meet you and show you what to do next. Oh, so also I forgot to mention that if you do not know how to do a magic ring, I will leave a link to the tutorial on that up above. in the cards, but there's literally hundreds of tutorials on how to make a magic ring. So if you don't know how to make one, feel free to check that out. And yes, I'll meet you at the end. 23, 24, and 25. Now I've been tightening this all along, my magic ring, so it's pretty tight now, but I'm going to go ahead and cinch it even further if I can. I think that's about as tight as I'm going to be able to get it. I'm going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch. See if I can't make that any tighter. I don't know that I can. I think I've cinched it about as tight as it'll go. Alright, so from here what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to chain up about 25 chains, and this is going to make the little loop or handle, the little hanging loop for our loofah. So there's 2, 3, 24, and 25. So now this is going to, like I said, make the little bit of a loop. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the other end in the same place that I did that slip stitch. Whoops, if I can keep it on my hook. So there is where I put my slip stitch. I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook in the same spot and do another slip stitch. And then we have our little handle. Now from here, we are going to put 3 double crochets in every single one of our stitches. So that is 25 stitches times 3 double crochets. So that is quite a few, but that's what's going to give it our ruffled look. So I'm going to start off with chaining 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and that is going to count as 1 double crochet. So in the same stitch, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more double crochets. There's 1 and 2 more, so that makes 3 all together. So there's 3 double crochets in that stitch. Now I'm going to put 3 double crochets in the next stitch, which is right next to it there. So here's 1. Oops. Here's 2. And here's 3. And I'm going to continue in this way all the way around to the beginning. Just putting 3 double crochets in every stitch. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Okay, and I will meet you at the end. If you have a magic ring, you're going to want to keep making sure that that is as tightly snug as you can. I feel like mine should be able to go tighter, but I'll work on it off camera. Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, so I have made it all the way around. I have completed that round of putting 3 double crochets into every stitch, and I have been able to tighten up my magic ring a little bit. So that is a good thing. I am going to go ahead and join my last stitch with my first with a, whoops, with a slip stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But before I move on to the next round, I am going to weave in and kind of tie off my original tail. So let me just grab a needle here. And I'm just going to weave it under those stitches back and forth a few times, and then I'm actually going to tie it in a nice solid knot because I don't want it to come loose at any point. And since it is right in the middle, nobody is going to see it. So it's okay if it's not super neat and tidy as long as it's secure. That's the main thing. You want it nice and secure. So there's one way. And there's another way. Sometimes I even send it right through split yarn, just just to make it a little bit secure, even more secure. There. All right, guys. Well, I apologize. I actually ran out of memory on my phone and I didn't realize that I wasn't recording. So I apologize for that, but you didn't miss much. All I did was I finished weaving in that end, just weaving it in under the stitches, and then I just tied it off in a knot. It's okay that it's a little sloppy because nobody's going to see it anyway. The point is that it's secure. You just want to make sure that you have a nice secure knot there. And now is the best time to do it because you can get to that spot easily. Because as you see, we're going to start getting all these ruffles, which is going to make our loofah. Okay, so the next round is going to be exactly the same as the first round, only we are going to do a lot more of it because we have a lot more stitches. We have 3 times the number of stitches that we had in the previous rounds. So we're going to go ahead and chain up 3, 2, 3, and that is going to count as our first double crochet. And we're going to do 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. Whoops. Excuse me. There's 1. And there's 2. So that makes 3 double crochets into that same stitch. So now we're going to move on to the next stitch and put 3 double crochets into there. 1, 2, and 3. Oh my goodness, I keep slipping all my stitches off my hook. And again. And 3. There we go. And in the next stitch, 3 more. And we're going to just continue to work this way all the way around. 3 stitches into each stitch in this round. And I will meet you at the end. Okay, so I am just finishing up my last double crochet in my last stitch. And I'm going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch to my first stitch of the round. And chain up 3 because my next round is going to be exactly the same once again. If we take a close look here, opening up these ruffles a little bit, you can see that I've got 1, 2, 3. So this will be my 4th round that I'm starting. And if we look at the original one and open up those ruffles, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds is all we did to make this original loofah. So that means we are on the last round. And like I said, it's exactly the same, only there's going to be twice as many, nope, 3 times as many stitches because we are putting 3 stitches into every current stitch. So there's my first 3 done. Next stitch gets 3 more. And this is obviously going to be the longest round, but at the end of this round we are going to be done. So I will meet you at the end and we'll finish it off. See you soon. Okay, I am coming to the very end. I've got 1 stitch left to put in 3 double crochets. There's 1. There's 2. And here's the last one, number 3. I am going to join those with a slip stitch to the top of my first stitch, just like I've done in every other round. And then I'm going to actually tie that off and snip it. And that finishes my loofah. Here's the little handle to hang it with, the little hanger. All that needs to be done now is to weave in the end, and it is all done. Perfect. If you wanted to make this bigger, you could continue to do another round or 2 or however many you want. It would only get bigger and bigger. However, if it goes any bigger than this, you will not have enough yarn in order to do the washcloth and the face scrubby. So just keep that in mind. If you wanted this bigger, you'd have to use more yarn, and you won't have enough to do the other two unless you get another skein. So, but at any rate, this one is all done, and I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And yeah, have fun making these. They're really nice to make because they don't require too much attention. You can do a lot of TV watching, Netflix watching while you're working on them. So, all right, very good. Keep an eye out for the next video for the washcloth tutorial. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.